Forgiveness, forgiving yourself, because ultimately you can't have free, open feminine energy if you are weighing yourself down with the guilt of something that happened in the past. The past is behind us and we learn from our mistakes. Maybe it wasn't even a mistake. Maybe you didn't know what you were doing. Maybe you didn't know, maybe it was something that you said. You didn't know you weren't meant to say that. Or you did and you felt immediately bad after. The thing is, you feel guilt about it now, but ultimately it's in the past. And you no longer have to feel that guilt. You take the lesson from that and you let the guilt go. You let it go because you can't feel guilty. You can't have this feeling of weighing you down if you want to be free and have feminine energy and have it really shine out from you. And you might be thinking, why do I get to feel ease and freedom and love and all this amazing things that come with opening up your feminine energy? Why do I get to feel that if I've done this, and this, if I've been this certain way? Why do I deserve it? Because everyone does. Because you do. Because you just do. You as a person deserve happiness and freedom. And there's a reason you're here doing this. There is a reason that you are trying to be a better person and connect with your feminine energy. The thing is, you can do more good to the world if you are on a higher level of consciousness, of vibration. You can do more good to the world if you have more resources, because more resources and more happiness, more joy, more freedom, it doesn't make you a bad person. And you need to be able to let the guilt go, to be able to step forward, step into the light of ease and happiness and joy, and then you spread that happiness and joy onto other people. And you learn from your past mistakes to be a good person today. I want you to feel gratitude for the mistakes of the past, because if you didn't make those mistakes, you wouldn't be in this place learning and growing. Growth is so important. If you are not growing, then you're dead. Every single day you should be learning something new. You should be growing. And those mistakes, those whatever you view as mistakes, whatever you're holding guilt for, those were lessons that you can now move past. You need to give yourself permission to move past it and become a better person. Don't hold guilt for the person that you were in the past. You learn from those mistakes. If you hurt someone in the past version of you, if you had said something that you know you shouldn't have, if you did something that you know you shouldn't have, you can learn from that and decide that you don't want to do that ever again. And sometimes we have to do those things to know that we never want to do that again. And maybe you didn't even realize it, but sometimes we get thrown life lessons and we need to take those and know that I never want to go back to. I never want to be that person. I'm going to move forward with new information, breathed in new life, and decide something different. And that's the amazing thing about life, is that we can decide that we want to do and be someone different. So how can we forgive ourselves? That is the big question, because it's not easy when you wake up and you have this heavy feeling on your chest or your shoulders and you think it is always on the back of your mind. Maybe you don't even realize that you have this unforgiveness for yourself in your heart, but it's there, always kind of showing itself in the way that you treat yourself. Maybe it's the source of the dislike for yourself if you don't feel a very positive way when you look at yourself. So, how we can learn to forgive ourselves. Forgiveness is a muscle to be exercised and strengthened. When we first speak about forgiveness, it may be someone who hurt us, and depending on how strongly we feel about it, we may or may not forgive them. It is the same with ourselves, and often we are our harshest critic. So, how do we forgive ourselves when we are our harshest critic? It is something that we need to practice. A couple things we can do is number one, know that you didn't know until you looked back. Sometimes we do things and we realize after that that was wrong or we shouldn't have said that. We are so harsh on ourselves to say, why did you say that? That was so stupid, da 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 da, all these negative things. But maybe you didn't know. Maybe you didn't know that that wasn't meant to be done or that wasn't something that you should have said. We learn from our experience and maybe you didn't know. Grace, giving yourself grace, will be one of the most important things you do on your inner work journey. Grace is so important. We mess up as people, as humans, all the time, but that is the magical thing about life, is that we can pick ourselves up, we can make mistakes, pick ourselves up, learn from them, and try again and do better. Giving yourself grace through hard times, through times where you may have messed up, but you learnt and now you're a better new person, that will be really important. Giving yourself grace. You didn't know. Maybe you didn't know and now you can do better. Releasing the feeling. So we can't push the feeling down. That will cause block emotions. What I want you to do is hold the feeling. I want you to visualize the feeling. Breathe in, hold the feeling, let your whole body feel the emotion. When you breathe out, see the emotion leave you and say to yourself, I forgive myself. It is okay. I've learnt from this experience. I know what not to do, and now I'm a new person. And when you breathe out, release the feeling of guilt and bring in, when you breathe in again, bring in the feeling of forgiveness. Bring in forgiveness to yourself. And inner child work, I want you to look at your inner child, the version of you who didn't know, the version of you who holds the guilt. I want you to forgive that child version of you. Hug yourself, tell yourself it'll be okay, because they're hurting as well. It's all inner child on the inside. We all run by the smaller version of us. So I want you to have a conversation with that little girl. Talk to her and tell her, forgive her. Sometimes you'll see that when you are looking at her, when you are trying to be upset and feel that guilt and feel that unforgiveness, but you're looking at her, you're imagining her, you realize there was nothing to forgive in the first place. And you just give that girl a hug. Give her a hug and tell her that you love her. That would be so healing. So, number 3 would be, I want you to get into the practice of forgiving. When you are, as I said, practicing and strengthening that muscle, it becomes easier to forgive. It becomes easier to let the feelings flow through. Now, as I said in our last lesson, we don't forget. We take in the lesson, we take it in, we file it, and then we move past it, knowing something new, learning something new. I want you to get into the practice of forgiving. So every day, I want you to find one person that you can forgive. Even if it's someone who cut in line at the supermarket, cut in front of you at the supermarket, if it is someone who cut you off on the road or anything. It can be simple or it can be small, but when you get into the practice of forgiving, you find it easier to forgive yourself as well. If you are holding on to all this really dark emotions like hatred and sadness and unforgiveness for other people, all your outside world that you are letting out to other people is a reflection of your inside world. If you're feeling all this unforgiveness towards other people, you are feeling that towards yourself. There is something inside that is reflecting on the outside. Everything is a reflection of your inside world. If you want to be able to start forgiving yourself, you need to start forgiving other people. And it can be small acts of forgiveness. And the good thing, it can be small acts of forgiveness or it can be big acts of forgiveness. It doesn't matter. Just forgive one person every day and do it fully with your heart and soul. And the good thing about inner work and forgiveness is that you don't need to talk to this person. You don't need to be anywhere near this person. You don't need to ever talk with them again. You don't need to be near them. You don't need to tell them. It can just be within your soul because it's all energy. All of it is energy. If you are thinking about a person, you are giving them energy. If they think about you, they are giving you energy. All you have to do is send the energy of forgiveness. Forgive with your heart and soul and then let it go, and it is done.